Surf's up, dude. Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. The surf was good today. No wind, glassy conditions. A little crowded, but the students left early. And so from about 7:45 to 9 o'clock, it wasn't too crowded. And the surf was breaking mostly inside. There was occasionally something would break on the outside, but then it would reform and break again. And so I stayed on the inside, even though Craig went out further and caught a couple of the ones that were outside, but they didn't last long. He caught the wave and then stood up and then just fizzled. And then, so we stayed out there for about a half hour while I stayed inside and Eric stayed inside. And so caught a lot of waves on the inside. There was one I caught going right. It was right by the pier. And I took off, and it was so late, I didn't even have time to stand up. I just hugged onto the rail and just pulled into the wave, and it was so fast. I mean, I was flying down the line just to try to stay ahead of it. But it was fast, didn't have a chance to stand up except at the end, and then just pulled out. And so it wasn't that big of a wave, but they were breaking off the pier going right. But if you drift it down towards Tower 3, then they were breaking the other way, but both left and right, but you can get some lefts, which I got one, but mostly got rights. The waves were coming directly out of the north, and so when you stood up, the only place to go was right. So got a lot more rights than anything, and so we did a lot of surfing on the backside, for me, backside. And then I paddled back, I should say, towards the pier again. So I went back and forth about 100 yards in between the pier and Tower 3, and so went back and forth. Now, something I need to tell you that I think you might be interested in is yesterday while we were surfing, somebody had snagged a 6-foot great white off the end of the pier, and it was caught on that line for I think he said like a half an hour. And so there's a great white roaming around out there. We already knew that. But he got caught in someone's fishing line. I guess he must have tried to swallow one of the fish that somebody had caught. And so he was flashing around out there. We didn't know that yesterday. I learned about Mr. Shark this morning when I was watching the news. And they were showing clips of the shark on the line at the end of the pier. So they didn't close the beach. Sometimes they'll close the beach if the shark comes around. But they did issue a warning. I didn't hear the warning yesterday, like I said, but I heard it today. So our theory was that he got hooked and he was mad. So it could go two ways. He was mad and going to get some revenge, or he moved on to a different area, not liking the hooks and stuff on the pier. So needless to say, it's out there. What are you going to do? So a little bit of a shark thing on your mind when you're surfing, but generally just trying to concentrate on the waves and trying to catch them. They were a little tricky because they would build up like they were going to break outside, then they would disappear more or less and mellow out, start more of a roller, and then they would jack up and hit real hard towards the inside reef. And so for the most part, it was like 3 sections: the outside occasionally would break, then the middle, and then there's a shore break as well. And the shore break, it was really weird when you're trying to get in or out of the water and you're walking towards the water, let's say, and just all of a sudden, as you get about ankle to knee deep, it just drops off and you go about waist high immediately. And then it goes up to about shoulder high, and then it goes shallow again. So if you're you can actually stand up about 20 yards offshore, but between that and the sand, there was a real gully there, so it got deep, and so it was weird. The waves would break, stop, and then break again. So it's kind of tricky to catch them, but we had a lot more fun today than yesterday. Yesterday I got hammered so badly in the shore break, but today I managed to stay out of the way of any of the real big ones and just got underneath a couple. I missed one really good left that was just a little too shallow. When I saw it, I started to paddle out deeper, and I thought, no, wait. And I waited. I should have kept paddling out, and then I would have been able to turn and go. But as it got closer to me, it jacked up, and I had to quickly dive under it. But that was one of the best-looking lefts I saw all morning, and it just went right by me like a wooden air. So that's the life, you know. Just had a really good surf day today. I just love the smooth water and turning on it, just so sweet. So we're hoping that tomorrow we get a little more of the same. It was so foggy this morning that all the cameras showed was just fog. There was no, you couldn't see the water. And so we had no idea what we were going to find. And when I got there, met up with Eric, and I ran down to look at the water while they were getting their wetsuits on. And I saw that it was pretty much the same. So we decided to go to the south side, not having a very good experience yesterday on the north side. So when we got to the south side, it was so crowded. There was so many kids in the water. We managed to get, some of my best waves in the morning early. And then as the kids started leaving to go to school, I got a few more waves, but it was better earlier. So we shall see what tomorrow will bring. It should be good, we're hoping. So then, of course, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, guess what? Yeah, you're right. More rain. So more rain is predicted for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hopefully it'll be pulling out of here by Monday. We shall see. You never know. Weather does what it wants, just like the ocean. So we'll check it out and see what happens. Tomorrow is Thursday. And then Friday is not, it just depends. If it slides up north a little bit or if it dips down, it could, makes a big difference here. So we've had plenty of rain. Don't need any more. So that is all for now. I am going to have to let you go, and we'll talk again tomorrow and see if the surf gets any better. The tide will be more in our favor, so we shall see. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, nappyclothing.com, Merch Hero, TaskBullet.com, and Swing Easy Hammocks. Thanks. I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.